Everyone, please be seated. Greetings and welcome to the School of Information commencement. I am Marty Hurst. I'm the interim dean of the school, and I'll be your host for this ceremony. I welcome all who have gathered today to celebrate the remarkable achievements of our graduates. To our graduates, congratulations on reaching this extraordinary milestone. Today marks the culmination of years of dedication, hard work, and intellectual exploration, not to mention debugging, data cleaning, and interviewing participants. To our faculty and staff, thank you for your teaching, mentorship, and guidance, and for putting on this fabulous event here today. We started on time. I want to personally thank all of you for outstanding teaching this year and for representing Berkeley with your innovative, world-changing research, and for answering my emails. And to our families and friends, thank you for your support and encouragement throughout this journey. You have all played an instrumental role in the successes of our graduates. Today, we celebrate you as well. And thank you for putting up with anywhere between 2 and 7 years of hearing about the iSchool without being sure what an iSchool is. A quick note about the ceremony. We're so fortunate to be celebrating in this spectacular auditorium. It holds 1,800 people, and we're filled to capacity, celebrating the achievements of 429 graduates out of 670 who are eligible to come. Just a few years ago, this ceremony could fit on the plaza by the Campanile. So look at us now, we've come a long way. Despite our rapid growth, one of the greatest strengths of the iSchool is its warm and inclusive atmosphere and community. I'm grateful for everyone associated with the iSchool, for your collegiality, your contributions, and your hard work, and your dedication to the public good and to helping one another succeed. So everyone can enjoy this event. Please silence your cell phones, stay in your seat unless it's your turn to walk on the stage, and keep the aisles clear. It goes without saying that we expect everyone to adhere to the Berkeley principles of community, which include not disrupting speakers as they talk, not blocking other people's views with banners or very tall hats and so on, and not bragging about why Berkeley is better than Stanford. We need to be nice. Any individual who chooses not to observe these principles will be asked to leave, which would be a shame because then you would miss more really cheesy commencement jokes. So today, we celebrate the achievements of our graduates across 3 master's programs and 1 PhD program. The master's programs are the Master of Information Management and Systems, the Master of Information and Cybersecurity, and the Master of Information and Data Science. Additionally, we commend those who have completed the PhD in information science, making a profound contribution to the field of knowledge. As graduates of the School of Information, you possess a unique blend of technical expertise and ethical consciousness. You are equipped not only to navigate the complexities of our rapidly evolving digital landscape, but also to address the pressing challenges facing our society today, from advancing human-AI interaction to ensuring equitable access to technology, from combating misinformation to leveraging technology for climate action. Your potential to affect positive change knows no bounds. Just remember, with great data comes great responsibility. Now it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce our esteemed keynote speaker for today's commencement ceremony, Gigi Sohn. I got to know Gigi and her wife, Laura Ballard, who is an expert on policy and security, and their daughter, Maxie, when I spent time in DC some years ago. Laura and Maxie are here with us in the audience, so thank you so much for coming, wherever you are. Since that time in DC, I've deeply admired Gigi for her ability to make positive change by working both outside and within institutions. Much of our conversation today is about technology platforms and algorithms and data, but all of this technology is dependent on a highly interconnected digital infrastructure. This globally interconnected world was made possible by intellectual pioneers with a vision for open and equal access for all. I think it's safe to say that we might not have that access today were it not for Gigi Sohn's tireless advocacy. With a career spanning decades, Gigi has been at the forefront of shaping policies that ensure equitable access to information and technology. As the co-founder of Public Knowledge and a former senior advisor to the chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, Gigi has been instrumental in advocating for net neutrality, digital privacy, and consumer rights. Her policy expertise and unwavering commitment to the public interest have earned her widespread recognition and respect. Currently, she wears many hats, including the executive director for the American Association for Public Broadband, which advocates for communities to own their own broadband networks, and is a member of several boards, including the Electronic Frontier Foundation. Without further ado, please join me in extending a warm welcome to Gigi. We're truly honored to have her with us today to share her wisdom.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Dean Hurst, for that lovely introduction and for being such a great friend and wonderful host to me and my family. I have to say, I'm totally excited about this podium because usually I have to stand on a box. And I'm also excited about the extra short gown that Dean Hurst was able to get for me. So I feel like I'm feeling very empowered right now. Congratulations, graduates. Give yourselves a hand. It's a great honor to be speaking before you and your families today. While I didn't attend Berkeley, I've spent a great deal of time here over the past 2 decades, and there are so many people at Cal who have been friends and mentors that I feel like I should earn an honorary residence and at a minimum, a parking permit. In October of 2021, I was nominated by the President of the United States for a very important role, to be a commissioner of the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, which regulates communications networks of all kinds, from broadcast to cable to broadband. This job is at the top of my profession, and my nomination was historic. I was the first openly LGBTQ individual selected to serve on the FCC. So probably you're thinking now, oh, that's why Gigi Sohn has been asked to speak to you today. But I said I was nominated, not that I was confirmed. In short, politics happened. I'm speaking to you today because regardless of what happened during the 16 long and difficult months of my Senate confirmation process, I wouldn't have changed a thing that I did before or during it. And despite the fact that I wasn't confirmed, I continue to do the important work of ensuring that our communications policies promote a healthy democracy and a just society. You see, I didn't become a public interest advocate so I could be in power. I became a public interest advocate so I could speak truth to power and make change. You can clap. I don't mind that. I'd like to share with you some of the twists and turns of my professional journey as a public advocate in the world of communications and technology policy. You are all graduating into careers in the technology field. During your careers, you too will probably have unpredictable twists and turns, have big successes and difficult setbacks, and have to make choices about what to do next. I'm hoping that by sharing my story, you'll be inspired to keep choosing the path that you know is right for you and for society, even if it sometimes comes at a cost. So here's my story. In 1988, after 2 unhappy years at a law firm practicing aviation law, I decided to pursue a job in my chosen field, communications law. I was lucky enough to get a job with a tiny public interest law firm called the Media Access Project, where I worked to make broadcasters and cable operators more responsive to the communities that they served. We fought for more minority ownership of and employment in media, and we supported limits on media consolidation. Trying to accomplish these goals during the politics of the 1990s was nearly an impossible task. But through that work, I learned the importance of media to a healthy democracy. Those with access to the networks influence the debates that shape public policy and decide elections. Those without were simply powerless. The internet promised to change all of that. Rather than a top-down, command and control medium dominated by a handful of huge corporations, the internet puts the power of communications at the ends, where you and I are in control. The world that advocates like me envisioned was one where everyone would have a voice, and where the marketplace of ideas and ultimately democracy would flourish. But that ideal wouldn't happen by itself. Thanks to years of deregulation under both Republican and Democratic administrations, the networks that carried the content, services, and applications that make up the internet became consolidated and closed. By the early 2000s, as the world went from dial-up internet access to high-speed broadband, there was a growing concern that those networks would start to favor certain internet traffic, particularly if companies were willing to pay for faster speeds and better service. Communications policy advocates and tech, entertainment, and other companies whose content rode over the internet urged the FCC and Congress to adopt a policy we called open access at the time. Thanks to Columbia Law professor Tim Wu, the policy was renamed network neutrality, or net neutrality for short. Put most simply, net neutrality is the principle that every party using the internet gets equal treatment from service providers. No discrimination, no favoritism. The fight over net neutrality and the even more important question of the FCC's role in overseeing the broadband industry would change the course of my career. After 2 years building a program at the Ford Foundation that would fund telecommunications, media, and technology policy advocacy, I returned to the field to start and run a nonprofit organization called Public Knowledge. Along with working to return balance to copyright, trademark, and patent law, getting the FCC to adopt net neutrality rules and exercise oversight over broadband was our biggest issue. I became one of the top, if not the top advocate in the nation for net neutrality. I testified before congressional committees numerous times, advocated before the FCC, the Federal Trade Commission, and the Department of Justice, appeared in the press and on TV and radio more times than I can count, and discussed and debated the issue at conferences all over the country. I also started blogging and using social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter. Those forums were not only places to get our message across to a wider audience, it led to discussions that sometimes enlightened and sometimes turned nasty and personal. But as I've done my entire career, I also continue to talk to industry and to both political parties, trying to find a way forward together. Unfortunately, given the stakes, compromise proved to be elusive. While fighting for what you believe in can be exhausting, and sometimes can cost you friends, and it has cost me friends, it can also be exhilarating. In 2013, I got the opportunity to reverse the course of net neutrality when then Chairman of the FCC, Tom Wheeler, asked me to be one of his senior staffers. It was bold of the chairman of the FCC to hire a former activist as a senior advisor. I guess I wasn't a former activist, but we'll just say that. In my new job, I had to walk the line between my former role as an outside advocate and being a staffer whose job was to serve my boss. I had always been a principal, and now I was a staffer. But in this role, I was willing to counsel my boss differently than his other advisors, and I told him unequivocally that I thought the only way a court would uphold net neutrality rules was if they were grounded in the strongest legal authority. Despite the fact that the chairman initially resisted, I advocated for that authority consistently for over a year. On February 26, 2015, on a snowy day in Washington, D.C., the Wheeler-led FCC adopted the strongest net neutrality rules, grounded in the firmest legal authority. It was the best day of my career. In 2016, the political winds shifted. Net neutrality became endangered, and I left the government and again became a public advocate. Returning to civil society was an adjustment. I came out of the FCC with an appreciation for the agency, its processes, and its people that I didn't have before. By law, I had to balance the equities of the many agency stakeholders, including the industries with whom I often disagreed with as an advocate. Many advocates in civil society and in private practice that lack government experience don't share that sensitivities, and that can sometimes be frustrating. If you have the opportunity to work for the government, take it and savor it. It will make you a better advocate, a better academic, and even a better person. I loved working for the FCC. After leaving, for the first time I thought, maybe I might want to return as a commissioner. Although I realized it might hurt my chances to achieve this dream, I continued to be a fervent advocate for net neutrality, competition, and universal and affordable broadband access, as well as a vocal critic of those who oppose those goals, be they industry representatives, FCC commissioners, the administration, or members of Congress. I continue to testify, appear in the media, and publish articles on a variety of topics, including the growing power of online platforms like Google, Facebook, and Amazon. I joined the board of directors of the Electronic Frontier Foundation, which is the nation's premier digital rights organization right here in San Francisco. I also joined the board of a nonprofit called Locast, which streamed broadcast signals to viewers who couldn't receive them over the air. Both organizations engendered different controversies, but I believed in their missions, and I still do. I also continued a role I've had for years, trying to bring more money into the field of communications policy advocacy. Despite the importance of networks to full participation in our society, our economy, our healthcare and education systems, and our democracy, the philanthropic world, with a handful of exceptions, has never funded the field with enough resources to do battle with powerful media and telecommunications companies and their well-funded surrogates. All of that work, the net neutrality activism, the use of social media both for advocacy and to express my personal opinions, my board memberships, my support of other public interest organizations, and by the way, my work on copyright reform well over a decade ago, gave the opponents of my nomination enough ammunition to craft a caricature of me that had no grounding in reality, but proved persuasive. Some of my friends advised me to apologize for my advocacy, including one who suggested that I step down from the EFF board. I politely declined because ascending to the FCC was far less important to me than maintaining my integrity and continuing to embrace the importance of the work I'd been doing for nearly 35 years, advocating for policies that ensure that everyone, no matter who they are, where they live, or how much money they make, is connected to affordable and open networks, including the most important network of our lifetimes, the internet. The good news is that I'm still doing it, still loving it, and still making a difference. Graduates, you're at an inflection point in your careers. After years of hard work, you are graduating with world-class expertise in technology and data, and how they can be used to make the world a better place. I hope my story both inspires you and helps you in the future when you find yourself weighing difficult choices. Congratulations to you all.
Thank you, Gigi, for those truly inspiring words. I think your journey reflects the values of the iSchool, and I can also echo the recommendation to take a job in government if you can. It does help you grow. All right. Now I have the pleasure of introducing our student speakers who were voted on by their peers and are excellent representatives of their respective degree programs. First, welcome Tonay Mahindru, the student speaker for MIMS.
Congratulations, you got the hoods on. That was... Good afternoon, everyone. Greetings to the friends and family of the students and the staff and faculty of the School of Information. I wanted to start by thanking you. Avdi, mom, dad, sister, family, partners, friends, and mentors. None of this would have been possible without your support. And to the MIMS graduating cohort of 2024, congratulations, you've made it. My name is Tanay Mahindru, and I'm humbled to be standing here to speak to you all today, to try and capture a small fraction of what this journey might have meant. Writing this was an interesting experience for me because it gave me the chance to reflect, and somehow you haven't heard enough of that. To think back about how we got here, what we went through, and where we might go. All the way back to receiving a call with the news of the acceptance and starting to meet each other one Slack introduction at a time. It doesn't feel like very long ago that we walked into the orientation, name tags and all, slowly settling into everyday life here. I thought back to trying to make pretty logos for the School of Information in one of our early assignments, to getting to know each other through pair programming and sharing frustrations to making a 5-leveled faceted category system for Info 202. I thought back to sitting a different bunch of you every week while struggling to solve legal problems for our class on law and policy, and writing plots to Black Mirror episodes while allegedly examining the social issues of information. It was always striking to me how many different reasons we all had for being here, how many different things we wanted to do with what we learned, and how committed you all were. The final presentations were a small glimpse of this, an amazing showcase of the diversity of this class, and a clear marker of how far we've all come. As you would imagine, a lot of you have come to learn over the last 2 years, both students and family. It's hard to describe the MIMS program. Ironically, we are not easy to categorize or organize, even as we try to impose this view on the information we study. We stand at the boundaries of what might be considered typical. What perhaps brings the MIMS cohort together is the appreciation of the nuances of technology, an appreciation of what it takes to harness its power and achieve some idea of good, even as we develop the vocabulary and sense to challenge what we know is not. It feels like we're coming to interesting times, not unique, perhaps, in the role that information will play in them, but maybe distinct in how fast and with what magnitude. Information is no longer simply organized and found, it is generated, and by machines now. Perhaps at a speed and a nature that will not make it easy to manage. But we've read about the coming of the telephone. We've written a whole bunch about the evolution of the bicycle, 500 words a week, in fact. We know that we have, and society has, a role to play in this story too. And I rest easy in knowing that the people in this auditorium are now going to find themselves taking what we learned here into every kind of career, from machine learning engineers to policymakers, product managers to user interface designers, software developers to researchers, and even a few academics. You will have a part to play. And it was lovely to get to know you all in even just the small ways. To hear about your weekends and all your adventures in front of the coffee machine in the student lounge, or the printers in the collab. Who knows, maybe I'll bump into you some random Thursday night in some random place in Berkeley, some random time. But until then, I can only wish you all the luck and ask that we remain as thankful as we are informed. Go Bears.
Thank you, Tanay. Now I'd like to introduce the speaker for the Mike's Cybersecurity Program, Sudeep Kaur.
Ladies and gentlemen, our esteemed keynote speaker, faculty, proud family and friends, and my fellow graduates from Mike's, MIDS, MIMS, and the PhD programs. It's an absolute honor to stand on the stage in front of the best minds in the country at one of the best universities in not just the country, but the world. If I have to sum up my feelings right now, those would be honored and privileged. I hope all of you feel the same because we have achieved it together as a team, regardless of the program we were a part of. I have a long list of people who have helped me shape my career. First, nothing is possible without the support of our families. Fortunately, I have both my parents here today and my sister back in India. I grew up in a middle-class family in a small town in eastern India. None of you have heard the name of. I stand here now because my family never stopped supporting me, never questioned my decision, or doubted my abilities. My mom doesn't understand or speak English, but I hope she is proud of me standing here and speaking to this esteemed audience. My family sacrificed so much for me that and continue to do so, that I cannot even begin to mention those because I'll run out of time. So may I please request you all to give them a round of applause again. Thank you. I believe everyone is talented in one way or the other, but everyone needs a mentor to excel. I have been surprisingly lucky to have so many mentors on the way that I cannot name them all. But I will fail if I don't name the one who had been behind my decisions and believed in my abilities even when I did not. I met him in December of 2017. Later, he became my boss in 2018. He's a perfect example of the difference between a boss and a leader. And he's a leader in the truest sense. Fast forward to today, he's my friend, mentor, family, and right now, he's probably my photographer somewhere there. Corey Solotarovsky. Please may I again request you all to give him a round of applause too. Corey, thank you for everything. The fact that I'm standing here is a testament to the diverse culture this great university and iSchool exhibits. Look around you and you will find people from different races, religion, and culture working together as a team towards excellence. That in itself speaks volumes of the great culture this institution showcases. I would also like to take this opportunity to convey my heartfelt thanks and congratulations to my fellow Mike's graduates. I learned a great deal from you all, and during the course of our academic journey, I made friends for a lifetime. If I shared a class with you, I will cherish the learnings, struggles, failures, and successes forever. All of that is precious to me. You guys are great, and congratulations on this achievement, everyone. You guys are champions. Now, a big shout out to my capstone team, Leroy Chi, Ben Leonard, and Anton Salashenko. Brothers, I want to say it was fun to work with you all. We navigated a lot of personal and professional hurdles to deliver the project. I am proud of what we have achieved together. Thank you for your persistence and hard work, and most importantly, for bearing with me. I know that's not easy. Go ask my coworkers, they'll tell you. As I said, I come from a very small town, middle-class family in India. How I made it here is a long story. It was tough, to say the least, and that story can be summarized into aim high, dream big, and never quit. Failures are disheartening, but also can be blessing. No one in the world hasn't failed. To quote a famous saying, if someone said they never failed, they never really tried anything new. Persistence has always been my motto. I hope we all continue to persist in our dreams and never quit trying. In closing, I want to thank the Mike's professors, faculty, alumni, iSchool Student Affairs team, and last but not least, Lisa Ho and Mary McHale for their support, knowledge, and expertise. To my fellow graduates, remember to aim high, dream big, and keep charging. Keep up the great work wherever you land next, and keep in touch. Mike's for life. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Sudeep. So next for the MIDS program, I'd like to welcome Alvin Ng to come to the podium and give the speech.
Thank you. Fellow graduates, esteemed faculties, proud parents, loved ones, and all those who accidentally stumble into this ceremony looking for free snacks, good afternoons. A year ago, I was out there amongst the audience with a group of friends who later became my capstone team, celebrating those who were graduating a year ahead of us. We knew a year later it would be us who would be getting the congratulations. We started joking about me being the student speakers and how I should advertise Irvine in my speech due to my love for that place. And thanks to Amy Ho, I got this stash saying that Mayor of Irvine that she told me to put on. And she would say that she would come up here if I put it wrong. So I'll try my best. Thank you. Thank you. And because we're a bunch of data science students, of course, we use ChatGPT to write us a speech, which I will not be speaking on that because it was all game and fun and game until I got the news about being elected as a speaker. And everything got surreal. So in order not to give Irvine a bad reputation, I got serious about how I can give the best speech and leave some memorable quote that may one day be made into memes, hopefully by the younger generations. I was struggling to find a topic until one day, I was talking to my therapist, and he said, is there something in your life that you're proud of? For the most part, I was always considering myself extremely fortunate, meeting the right people, joining the right professions at the right time. However, one thing I am proud of is surrounding myself with people I admire. Friends such as those who I have absolute honor to work with in our capstone, friends with such morale that they decided to build a summarizations and recommendation engine for a probation agency instead of building me a matchmaking service using OkCupid data like I have suggested. Every single person I have met through MIDS has left me in constant awe and admirations. And you guys are the reasons that motivate me to become better every day. So instead of me giving life advice to a group of audience members, the majority who probably have more years of experience than I do, I want to use this opportunity to celebrate. To celebrate the fact that most of us finally have our weekend back. No more coordinating time zone meetings. No more coordinating time zone meetings with project peers from all over the world. No more asking your boss if it's okay to have your class during the middle of workday. And most importantly, no more taking classes in your car because you have a pickleball match to catch right after. I have the utmost respect for every single one of us graduates, not only because we had the dedications and courage to come back to school, perhaps we all forgot how much work we had to do in undergrads, but also because we managed to juggle a full-time job, a part-time master's, and a food and a family. This was not an easy feat. I don't know how I did it, and I don't know how everyone did it here. That being said, I know our friend and family probably really miss seeing our faces. And for that, I want to say thank you. A sincere thank you to all the loved ones whose support gave us the opportunity and motivations to finish this degree. Without every single one of you in the audience, we would not have done it. Graduates, please give them all a hug afterwards. Lastly, I want to add that as you move forward in the next phase of your life, I encourage you to consider make Irvine your home. All right. And for those who I've met and not met throughout this program, I also want to give you a sincere thank you. I would not have done it without all the helping hands. I strongly believe that the community that we have built here and the impact that we will be making coming out of this program will be long-lasting. I'm grateful and honored to be elected as your commencement speaker, and then I'm proud to call myself a MIDS graduate. Go Bears.
Thank you, Alvin. And the student speaker for the PhD in Information program is Shijia Xiao.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sijia. In the course of my PhD research, I encountered a quote by Mariam Kaba that deeply touched me. Everything worthwhile is done with others. I sincerely appreciate each of you for joining us today to mark this important moment with all of our graduates. To me, working towards my PhD is more than an academic endeavor. It symbolizes the creation of profound connections with Berkeley, South Hall, and the extraordinary individuals who have crossed my path. I want to express my gratitude to all the iSchool faculty. I enjoy discussing ideas with Nilofar in her vibrant pink office. Koi shares research insights with me. In return, I share with him my latest dance videos and tea. More than just gaining knowledge, I'm fortunate to know you both as remarkable researchers and wonderful people. To my student cohort, thank you for all the exchanges we've had, from research ideas to hallway chats, from solidarity to vulnerability. I'm grateful to know my lab mates, our tech of our own growth. The virtual support chats during COVID times, our New Orleans and Hamburg adventures, and our group meetings on the grass are some of the fondest memories I have with you. Thank you for filling my life not only with brilliant ideas, but also with laughter and joy. I'd like to thank all the staff for being the backbone of our success. I'm never nervous about technical issues before presentations because the IT team always checks in beforehand. The student affairs team enriches our experiences inside and outside our academic pursuits by keeping us informed about all the deadlines and opportunities and by offering baking or Valentine card making sessions. Special thanks to Anessa, who works directly with our PhD students. Thank you for truly caring and investing in our happiness and growth, which shine through in every interaction we have. A heartfelt thank you to my family, friends, my partner Ryan and his family. With the freedom to design my own paths, I often find myself overwhelmed by the feeling that there's often more to do. My remedy is not sitting in front of the desk longer, but to enjoy simple things like a good meal, a walk in nature, or a heartfelt chat. I turn to you and think of you the most when I experience hardship. You keep reminding me that work is not an end, but a means towards happiness with you in my life. I foster a special connection with an extraordinary person, myself. My PhD is a 5-year journey without a predetermined roadmap. Despite the uncertainties, it offers me the freedom for self-discovery. This freedom nourishes me to freely learn and explore my hobbies. At times, I find myself blend in with first-year undergrads in a Sociology 101 class. At other times, I'm dancing in the garage with Bay Area street dancers. The same freedom enables me to tackle social issues I care about through my research. How do we manage misinformation and conspiracy theories on the internet? How does prevalent online harassment impact young people's mental health? My PhD research serves as a vehicle that connects me to my values and passions. I never wanted to romanticize this journey. A PhD is hard. A successful paper comes after many late nights of work and rejections. Navigating through mental health, financial, and job uncertainties increases my self-doubts and pressure. To me, a PhD entails more than an academic pursuit. It's a journey of engaging in an inner dialogue towards self-acceptance. I recognize that this journey is one that extends a lifetime, but I'm proud to say that I've made significant progress during my time as a PhD student at the iSchool. I could not have accomplished this without you, my friends, who have become an integral part of my life story. Everything worthwhile is done with others. Thank you for making mine truly unforgettable. Congratulations, all the PhDs. Congratulations, all the graduates. Thank you.
Thank you, Shijia. Wonderful speech. Let's congratulate all of our speakers for great speeches. Okay, Now I have the pleasure of announcing all of the award winners. So we will announce the name of each award winner at this time, and the winner may stand to be recognized. We won't be having people come up to the stage, though. All right, we'll do each of the programs. So first, our MIMS award winners. The MIMS Excellence in Teaching Award goes to John Chuang. Well deserved. The MIMS Outstanding Teaching Assistant goes to Drake White. And the MIMS Spirit Award goes to Tone Mahindru. So all the students complete a capstone project, and we have awards for the best capstone is determined by a set of neutral judges. And there are 2 winners for the MIMS final projects this year. The first goes to Playscape, Cultivating Children's Connection with Nature, by Zoya Abdullah, Natalie Chen, Grace Roseman, Emily Tan, and Andy Vo. And the second one goes to Magenta, Make Democracy Fun Again. By Ivani Abernas, Donte Arivas Bedford, Nya Madison, Surna Narayan, and May Simpson. Congratulations to all of the MIMS award winners. Next are the Mike's Award winners. The Mike's Excellence in Teaching Award winner is Jania Hisver. She's not here, okay. All right, now we'll give the awards for each, the Mike's students all each graduate each semester, so we have awards for each semester. So for spring 2024, the Lily L. Chen Mike's Capstone Award went to NFC Sentinel by Busher Breedy, Randy Escobedo, Adams Coe, Michael Petra, and Nea Thigal. For fall 2023, the Mike's Capstone Award goes to Security Sage by Jasmine Burley, Ross Comstock, Seba Dehim, and Michael Kamida. And for summer 2023, the Mike's Capstone Award went to Cyber Attacked by CC Korea, Sunya Jada Balabahula, Jay Jones, Che Fing Lei, Diamond Rory, and Josna Sharma. Congratulations to all of you. Finally, our MIDS Award winners. The MIDS Excellence in Teaching Award goes to Mark Butler. The 5th year MIDS Excellence in Teaching Award goes to Joyce Shen. She here? Not here. Oh, okay. And the MIDS Outstanding Teaching Assistant goes to Amy Ho. All right, now we'll announce the winners of the Hal R. Varian MIDS Capstone Award. For spring 2024, it goes to Ocean Watch by Radadip Acharna. By Ranadip Achana, Sunitha Reddy, Kalakoti, Meng Kang Kao, Katie Norton, and Samir Shind. For fall 2023, the MIDS Capstone Award goes to Louisiana Airwatch by Alexandra Hurst, Coney Kirschenbaum, Alberto Lopez Rueda, and Amanda Murray. And the 5th year MIDS Capstone Award goes to Polywatch by Matthew Dodd, Aditya Shah, Jocelyn Tay, and Ethan Yen. And finally, for summer 2023, the MIDS Capstone Award goes to Language X by Ifra Javid, Bora Mudalungu, Jerry Chuan, and Soon Sai. Congratulations to all the award winners. When the ceremony ends, we will ask the recipients to come up on the stage to receive their award and to take a photo. Okay. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the beginning of the conferral of degrees. First, we'll have Coy Cheshire begin with PhD graduates. Please come up, Coy.
Okay, hello everyone. Hi. So, I am Professor Coy Cheshire, and as the head graduate advisor for our PhD program, it is my great honor and privilege to announce this year's graduating class from the School of Information PhD program. Our PhD students engage in interdisciplinary research, which is reflected in their different multi-year dissertation projects. The long road that a PhD student takes in pursuit of this degree is not an entirely solitary process, of course. They work very closely with their dissertation advisors over many years, with the support of family, fellow graduate students, staff, and friends. This year, we are proud to have 3 graduating PhD students, so I will now read their names and each of our PhD graduates, along with their dissertation title and the name of the advisor or advisors who will hood them. First, Emily Aiken, with her dissertation entitled Targeting Social Protection with Machine Learning and Digital Data, and she will be hooded by Professor Joshua Blumenstock. Next, Elizabeth L. Rezor. Her dissertation entitled Scoring Space, How Home Seekers Make Sense of Place, Platforms, and Metrics, hooded by Professor Coy Cheshire. And our third graduate, Sija Xiao. Her dissertation entitled Empowering Online Harm Survivors with a Restorative Justice Approach, hooded by Professor Coy Cheshire and Assistant Professor Nelifar Salehi.
Thank you to our readers, and thank you and congratulations to all of the graduates. All right. Where do I get one of those cute 2-year-olds? I don't know. All right. All right, before we end, I want to remind and invite all of our award winners back on stage for photos after we close. All right. So, as we approach the end of our ceremony, I want to thank all of the family and friends who have come from far away and nearby for your support of these students and the school. And I want to thank the staff of the iSchool for your hard work and for once again doing a wonderful job with graduation. Congratulations again to graduates. May your future be filled with boundless opportunities, meaningful endeavors, and enduring fulfillment. And remember, when life gives you big data, make insightful analyses. I'm confident you'll go on to achieve remarkable things, and I eagerly anticipate witnessing your future success. Stay connected with your fellow graduates and with the broader iSchool. You're alumni now, and we want you to hear from us, and we want to hear from you. Remember, we'll always be here to support you in your future. So finally, to all the graduates, I would like to ask you all to please stand. Everyone, please join me in giving them one final round of applause. We will now have a formal recessional for our graduates to exit the auditorium. Guests, please wait for the graduates to exit before you leave your seats. And we invite all of you to join us outside for a reception with some light refreshments. So, congratulations again, and thank you for coming. Go ahead, graduates.